Look around you. 1 in 4 kids in the U.S. faces hunger. It's not always easy to see the signs, but in this land of plenty, there are kids that don't know where they will get their next meal. Join Share Our Strength in Food Network and take the pledge to end childhood hunger here in America by 2015. Learn how at nokidhungry.org. Their next meal could come from you.
And now, live on the fabulous interweb, PTR Radio. This is PTR Radio with Colin.
The 8-Man was my favorite guy for Racist Dave and everything.
Yeah, and I'm still
then I started listening to PTR exclusively, and then Colin, you're the guy.
PTR Radio.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is another Monday, and this is PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. Colin, you're the guy.
You're the guy.
You're the guy. Mike the 8-Man was the guy, but now you're the guy. Welcome, everybody, to a special. This is like an extra day of the week.
Yes.
Why did our extra day of the year have to be a Monday? That's like the running thing around the internet right now is, couldn't they have given us another Sunday or another Saturday? No, we had to have an extra Monday. Folks.
We don't actually wind up getting an extra Monday.
No, because tomorrow just would have been Monday.
Yes, we get an extra we get an extra friggin' Saturday out of it, okay? Because of this extra day, New Year's Eve is on a Saturday.
Which is always better.
Yes, because it's party all day, and you actually can recover on Sunday. In fact, don't you get a 3-day weekend out of the deal now? Because New Year's Day, you would get off because it falls on a Sunday, you'll get that day off on Monday.
Maybe. I think it all depends on where you work, if that's included in your contract or not. Because sometimes you get screwed over on those days. Sometimes not. We have a death announcement, Mike. Yes, I don't know that it affects the pool.
It does not. I believe I know who you're talking about. Mr.
Colin brought it to my attention. Yeah, George Kennedy.
Which means we're losing Georges recently.
Yes, first George Gaines, now George Kennedy. George Bush, better watch out.
Which one?
Both.
Yes.
Because HW, he dies. That's going to affect the pool.
Yeah.
I see. Well, George Gaines died. That was Police Academy.
Yes.
George Kennedy is Airport and Naked Gun. So
that's right, Frank.
Airport, not airplane.
I'm sorry, you're right.
But he said Naked
Airport,
Gun.
Naked Gun.
Naked Gun. Okay, you're right.
But anyway, so now we've had Naked Gun die. We've had
all the best comedies.
Police Academy that. So now someone.
What is Val Kilmer going to go next from Top Secret?
I'm thinking Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
No, we have to pick a different franchise.
Because we went from Police Academy, and then.
No, now it's going to be some.
So Airplane. So that we've had Naked Gun and we've had Police Academy. So now we have to have Airplane.
Airplane.
So Leslie Nielsen is already dead.
He is?
Yep.
Yeah, he died in 2010.
Oh, I did not know that.
All right, so now I got to go look up the cast of Airplane and see who's still alive.
Well, the guy who was in the command tower, he's dead.
Lloyd
the one
Bridges.
who said, Lloyd Bridges is gone.
Peter Graves is dead.
Yep. How about the woman? We haven't had any famous women die lately. The lead female character.
Julie Haggerty. She's still alive.
She had a commercial recently.
Well, Barbara Billingsley. She's dead.
Huh.
What was Lorna Patterson? No, she's still alive. So We know Robert Hayes is still alive. How about Robert Stack? Is he still alive? No, he's dead.
The only show on the internet that starts off with, are they alive or dead?
How about Johnny? Johnny is dead. Johnny died before all of them.
While you're looking up who's next to die in that, let's talk about some leap year traditions. Okay, leap day traditions. Now I'm going to ask your opinion of this because here's a stupid one. 3 Illinois towns, I did not know this, being an Illinoisan. 3 Illinois towns celebrated Leap Day by putting women on city council. Evidently, Leap Day is a huge sexist day.
Yeah.
Where role reversal is common.
Well, isn't Leap Day like typically when you'd have a Sadie Hawkins dance?
I don't know if it's typical, but one of the things, and this is what I wanted your thing, is in Ireland, February 29th has a special meaning. It's a day that women are encouraged to propose to men. So, okay. Mike, back before, you and Mrs. 8-Man got married, all right, back before you proposed, what would your reaction have been if the script was flipped and she had proposed to you?
Where's my ring?
If she had gotten down on one knee, would you have balked at it or would you have been okay with it?
If that meant that she gave me the engagement ring, we're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. You can go ahead and plan everything. And
didn't she anyway?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Now, Colin, you're still single.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you take away from the idea, or what do you think of the idea of a woman proposing to you? If you were in a long-term relationship, maybe you've been dating for a year or two, and the woman suddenly decided enough's enough, I'm going to go ahead and pop the question to him. What would your opinion be?
It'd be very similar to the bank, how the bank gave me recently and asked to refinance my mortgage for me.
Okay.
Like, oh yeah, thanks for saving me the trouble.
So you would be okay with that, though?
I much prefer it that way.
You much prefer a woman?
Yes.
So is that why you're still single? You're waiting for women to ask you out?
Yes.
Okay, so folks, if you're a strong female in the Springfield area and you're looking for a good little cuddle bear, all right, Colin is waiting for you to approach him. All right? He's like the gorgeous girl at a bar who is just, too hot to be hit on, sitting there lonely, and he's waiting for you to approach him.
I was not at the bar.
Yeah, not at the bar. At the juice bar, maybe. All right? Or the oxygen bar. That's where he would be.
Because we have neither of those.
Well, there's a juice bar at most gyms, but you also wouldn't be found there either.
That's right. Correct.
But I don't know. I myself, because that question was asked on the radio, on several radio stations that I listen to, I think I might have a problem with it. I might have an issue if my wife, who said no several times, came to me and asked me, one, because it would have never have happened, and two, that's kind of like my thing. My thing is that's what I get to do.
Propose?
Yes. That's my job. I don't have many jobs. That's one job. That's what I get to do.
I'm sorry. My brain just went off track there when you said that she said no several times. Suddenly I thought you were kind of like Ross, how his thing was getting divorced on Friends. That's why when you're like, well, that's kind of my thing. What, propose? Just over.
No, well, kind of. The first time I asked her out, she said no.
Oh, asked her out.
Second time I asked her out, she said no.
That's different than proposing.
But hold on. Then I asked her to marry me, and she said, "Are you sure? Is this what you really want?" It wasn't a yes or a, oh my God, or no. It was a, are you really sure that's what you want to do?
When I asked him to marry me, the first thing she said was, "What are you doing with my ring?" Because she had picked out her ring. She's like, "What are you doing with my ring?" Kind of proposing here. case you hadn't figured that part out yet.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I meant by that. But like I said, that was my thing to do. I don't know. I'd be curious if you if you want to weigh in on this, 877-787-8822, or anything that we're going to talk about tonight. You can get a hold of us via that number, or as always, you can tweet us at PTR Radio. We want to hear what you guys have to say. What do you think about a woman proposing to you? Yes, no. Is that obviously traditionally it's a guy thing, but is it something that a woman could do as well and you'd be perfectly happy with it, or would you be upset about it? I know a lot of people where that probably wouldn't go over very well. I've already told my daughter, I'm like, okay, whatever guy you're with, he better come and ask me permission. Like, because that's the last thing I get to do ever is say yes to that. All right. With regards to the way that running her life, that's like the last thing ever. Most of it's already gone from me. So I at least would like that one courtesy. It's a very old fashioned thing. I know, but I want that. So, and none of you guys can relate.
Nope.
Well, okay. Your sisters, did any of their husbands come and ask your parents? Probably. You don't know these things.
Not his job to know.
Well, but yeah, one would think that he would know. He knows everything else that goes on in the household.
I don't know what I'm doing until I'm told.
All right, other things. That's one of the big things. But you're right. It is traditionally a day for Sadie Hawkins Day dances and things like that. Festivities are thrown and all kinds of crap like that. Here's another one. Babies can join a club. There's an exclusive February 29th club that the Honor Society of Leap Year Day babies, supposedly. And Mike, you said you had somebody that was celebrating a birthday today?
I have a cousin who's out there somewhere that I haven't spoken to in years that I believe he was born on February 29th. And it was always the ongoing joke, like, yes, I'm going to be 10 years old this year. No, you're not. That's only cute like one time.
Did you know that February 29th also happens to be Rare Disease Day? Specifically, they picked February 29th.
The fuck do you do on Rare Disease Day?
I don't know.
Go out and try and contract
examples include
megaencephalitis,
Crohn's and Tourette syndrome. I don't see that those will be rare. Modern Olympics are always held in a leap year. That is true, I guess. I never thought about that.
Never thought about it before, but yeah.
But it does work out that way.
There's the Summer Olympics.
Now, speaking of that, we know it's going to be held in Rio. Has anybody heard if Rio has cleaned up their toxic sludge, river and stuff that they're supposed to be swimming in?
They're too busy talking about the Zika virus to be wondering about sewage.
True. Has the Olympics been halted because of that? Do they have an alternate spot for the Olympics?
No.
Does anyone really care about the Olympics anymore?
It just means that there's probably going to be a lot less people flying to Rio from the U.S. to see stuff in person.
Well,
they thought there was going to be.
Here's a question: How many athletes are actually going to bail in fear of this thing?
It is a good question because even
like the basketball, right? Because it is winter or summer Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that would be pretty stupid to have winter Olympics,
in Rio. Yeah, that would be kind of dumb.
Almost as stupid as having them in China.
Yeah. So, all right. So you get like the NBA players on the basketball team. They're not going to want to risk their entire career at the chance of getting bit by a mosquito.
Doesn't the Zika virus though just affect newborns and pregnant women?
It's Everybody else is just like a
cold.
Yeah, it's nothing nasty.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the only complication here is the Olympic Village. After you're done with your event, is Bang Bang Town.
Yes.
All right.
Well
it's
known.
Sponsored by Trojan. There are fish bowls full of condoms everywhere.
Okay, so this is the other issue I have. No, never mind. Because I just lost my train of thought.
Did your train get derailed?
Yeah, pretty much.
So according to what I'm reading here, the water still smells.
Ugh. Yeah, I would not want to. I mean, one, I'm glad Chicago didn't win because, as we discussed previously, you never recover your costs for infrastructure and everything else.
No.
Yeah, but you could have rented your house out. As far as away we are from Chicago, we probably still could have rented your house out.
Yes. But you never recover the cost for hosting the Olympics. And some of the grimmest pictures are old Olympic venues that have only been closed for like 6 to 10 years.
Yes.
Well, even the bird's nest in China doesn't look all that great.
No.
Like our Sochi, like Olympic Village was fucked up to begin with.
But China just got another Olympics.
That was such a delayed reaction on my part. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta hit the button.
Anyway, China is getting another Olympics in Beijing, so they're going to be reusing the same venues.
Yeah, are they just going to rehab everything basically?
Yes, it's like the
and I think they really should. I think they should just go to cities they've already been in.
Like the water cube is being turned into the ice cube.
That's fine. They should just go back. They should go back to Salt Lake City.
Yep.
They should go back to Atlanta. They should go. They should go back to Moscow. They should go back to wherever London. They should go back.
I would love for them to go to Atlanta because that would mean that I would not be able to do any work while the Olympics were going on because most of the people I deal with are based in Atlanta. So my job would turn into watching the Olympics.
What a job, Mike. What a job. Oh, all right.
Just don't go back to Lake Placid.
Okay.
All right, because I doubt we could ever win a gold medal, and I don't want to tarnish the Miracle on Ice. I'm just saying.
All right. I'm going to talk about something that actually happened to me today. And a little thing I like to call Adventures in Babysitting, which I figured out. I found out they're remaking that movie.
They're not allowed. No.
They already have remade that movie. There's trailers for the movie, and it's coming out soon.
Is Kevin Hart in it?
I have no idea. But they have remade Adventures in Babysitting, which is very sad.
I think Hollywood should introduce a rule that if you are going to remake any movie that has been made in the last 25 years, you must cast a black lead actor.
Okay.
Okay, it looks like it has people like Sabrina Carpenter, Max Floyd Jones, Sophia Carson, Gillian Vigman.
Never heard of any of them.
No, I have not heard of any of these people.
These are all Disney stars, is what it is.
Oh! While we're talking about
Disney's remaking this.
Here, but, real quick, before I forget, you want to really flip your lid?
Yeah.
They're remaking Mrs. Doubtfire.
What?
With Jonah Hill in the lead role. They're doing it. Jonah Hill has signed to play Mrs. Doubtfire in a remake.
Okay, so
well, now wait a second. They said Mrs. Doubtfire 2 is definitely never going to happen.
Right. This is not Mrs. Doubtfire 2.
Okay.
This is new Mrs. Doubtfire.
Um,
As in, not a sequel.
okay.
Okay, is this like, are they doing it now? Now are they doing it where it's like the Butterfly Effect 2, where basically it was the same story with a completely different cast? Like the same premise, but that's all the only relation it had to the original. You guys didn't even know that they made a second Butterfly Effect, did you?
No.
Okay. It's a hoax.
Oh, thank God. Thank
It's a
God.
hoax.
Oh, thank the maker. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they still might do it someday, but it probably will not be Jonah Hill.
Well, then why
Unless
did
he
then-
gets the idea from the hoax and goes, "Oh,
I mean, Will Smith.
Yeah, no.
I
Yeah.
think you do that.
Yeah, it'll have to be a black actor.
That would actually meet your rule."
There we go. It would.
But instead of it'd probably be Michael B. Jordan, because that's the one that's the current black actors and everything right now. But of course, he will not be Oscar nominated because it'll probably be Sylvester Stallone again, because he'll show up in like 5 minutes of the movie and get an Oscar nomination again.
All right. I'm sorry, Shaggy. Your
All right,
adventure
so-
in babysit.
So today my wife had a doctor's appointment this morning. And so that means that I get to stay at home and watch the two children that she watches every day. Now, today being a Monday, that meant there was only one child to watch, which is our great nephew. Okay. And he is a giant pain in the butt.
So he isn't that great.
He's 3. No, he's a pain in the ass nephew, if you want to tell the truth. All right. He's 3. And, essentially the kid's really lazy and doesn't do what you tell him to, and is, like I said, just a giant jerk. So comes time we're watching cartoons for the longest time this morning. Then it comes time for lunch. So we come downstairs. I sit him in the chair. I go, okay, we're having a hamburger helper for lunch. I mean, what kid shouldn't like hamburger helper, right? Besides, it's leftovers. It's what I'm having for lunch, so he's going to have it for lunch. All right? He eats macaroni and cheese all the time. No big deal. So I set it down in front of him. He immediately starts crying. I don't like it. You haven't even eaten it. Eat it. Put it on a spoon and put it in your mouth. Eat it. I don't wanna. Starts crying. I have no patience. I have no idea why my wife, who's quite a bit older than I am, how she deals with it. Because I don't. But the little voice does go off in my head going, he's not yours. You can't beat him. So, next thing that comes to my head is corner. So I said, fine. You don't want to eat? You can stand in the corner while I eat. So that's what he does. Now, folks, this is a parenting lesson. If you're a parent out there and your child acts like this, you take this course of action. All right? Unless beating is an option, then beating. And I'm not talking beating until they're bloody. I'm talking about a swat on the backside to get the point across. There is a difference between child abuse and a whooping. A whooping never hurt anybody long term. Means they couldn't sit for a little while, but it was fine. All right. So stand in the corner. Constant. Now he stood in the corner for all of 5 seconds. And I go, are you ready to eat? Yes. Fine. Get your ass over here, get in this chair, and eat your lunch. And he did.
And did he like it?
Doesn't matter. He ate it.
No, that's the point. Did he like it in the end?
He ate it. He ate almost all of it.
There you go.
With very little, hey, if you don't get to eating again, the corner will be your home. All right? And then as soon as he was done, get upstairs and lay down. It's nap time. Now, my daughter was in the kitchen fixing her lunch at the same time. And one of the times I looked at the kid and said, I'm not as nice as Angie. Do what I tell you to. And my daughter just shakes her head like, no, you're not. But she's been on the receiving side of that same temper when she was small. Guess what? She doesn't have a problem. She's a good kid because of that type of mentality. All right. That just in my mind, that works. And the reason why that kid is a pain in the butt is because he doesn't get that all the time. If he got that more often, he wouldn't be such a jerk. All right. Now, fast forward 45 minutes, and my wife gets home. And she says, well, how was he? And I said, well, he didn't want to eat. So I put him in the corner for a few seconds. And that solved the problem. And she goes, oh, no. I go, what? She goes, well, now I have to tell his mother. So? Well, now I have to explain it to her. Well, I didn't beat him because that was the other option. I said, so you got the better of the two, I think. She goes, yes, you made the right choice.
Between your two, the two options that you present.
And I'm driving to work because I'm late getting to work because her appointment ran long. And I'm like, if the mother doesn't like it, the mother can take the child somewhere else who also won't put up with this crap. You know? Yeah. Because there is only so much a person can put up with before they put the child through a wall.
I'm slowly starting to realize that I may have more friends that listen to this show than I am aware of. Because conversations like this would definitely explain why Kim and I have never been asked to babysit.
Well, you're not saying that you did all these things. You're not saying I'm a horrible person for doing them either.
No, but I have wholeheartedly agreed with everything you have said and done, except I wouldn't have made them stand in the corner. I would have found some kind of chore for them to do.
Well, he's only 3. He can't do a whole lot like bricks.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, brick wall building comes later.
No, listen, I'm not saying I wouldn't, have the dog crate set up.
Yeah.
Instead of the corner. And get in the cage. Go. Get in your box. My
wife puts our grandson in the corner all the time. I didn't see the problem with it.
See, I had friends who used to, their parents, instead of making them stand in the corner, you had to stand with your nose against the wall.
Yeah, same difference, pretty much. And that was the thing is I didn't want him to sit in the corner because that's too easy. No, you support your own damn weight. And he was there for less than 5 seconds.
Yes. But you did have a third option.
Which was?
Either eat the hamburger helper, stand in the corner, or have a jelly bean.
Have a bacon bean.
A jelly bean, yes. Wow.
Wow, that is a third option I did not think about.
But now
it's not. The only problem is his teeth have rotted enough. I don't know that I want to introduce sticky sugar into there, even if it does taste like garbage.
Or give him a piece of baker's chocolate.
Yep, that's an option.
That's always an option.
This is where I wish I had kept that bacon-flavored popcorn around that tasted horrible. That would have been another good option. So, yeah. But
next time, just throw an MRE at him and say, here, make your own dinner. Make your own lunch.
But okay,
go get a rock.
It's these people and we had this conversation at work when I got there. It's these people that want to be friends with their kids, or want to be their pals or their buddies or whatever adjective you want to use. You are not there to be their friend. All right, I tell my sister that all the time. You are not there to be your children's friend or pal or best friend, as she likes to. No.
No. You can be. You can be the friend in charge.
You know, you
'Cause
are.
I get it. There's got to be a fine line. Like, you want your kids to be able to come to you when they have a problem. Most of the time. Sometimes those problems might make you just want to be like, corner, go. Get away from me right now. I don't want to deal with you. How could you be so stupid? You are not my child. There's no way. Your mother had an affair. She's not telling me who, but you are not my child. No. Why are you crying? Why are you crying?
Stop crying, or I will give you something to cry about.
Stop crying. Go get me
Favorite line.
something to beat you with. I won't be that stupid with my child, because with my luck, my child will have my intelligence, because my mother said that to me one time. So I went and got her one piece of paper. Said, here you go.
Mine was always go get the belt. It was always the belt.
Now, I've told this story many times on different shows. I'm sure I've said it here. I've told it on the past show. I've told it on the podcast. If I had a child, I was going to go to a leather shop and get a 6-inch wide by 3-foot long strap and fashion it to look like a belt, right?
Yeah.
And stitch fish hooks into it and then stain it with ketchup. And it would just hang there. It'd be symbolic. It would hang there.
Yes.
This is the belt. You had a brother.
Right.
He didn't eat his hamburger helper. Do you want to try it?
Mm-hmm.
Because my luck, my kid will be like, go ahead, whale. Go ahead, whale. I'll call Dyfus. Go ahead, whale.
I mean, it's just so ridiculous.
Oh, what's it called in New Jersey?
Dyfus.
Typhus.
Division of Youth and Family Services, I think. Department of Youth and Family Services, Dyfus.
Yeah, so we have Department of Child and Family Services here.
So it's DCFS, which isn't pronounceable as a word.
Yeah, Dysophus. But yeah, so and see, my daughter didn't really screw up after about age 5 because she was conditioned up to that point.
Well,
and it's these people
trained her well.
It's these people that don't start off training their kids and getting their kids in line and then go when they're 12 or 13. I don't know where we went wrong. I don't know how to get him under control.
Yeah.
You missed the window where they were pliable and you could mold them.
I'll tell you a true story. I was walking through the BJ's Wholesale Club about a couple of years ago, and I ran into my ex-fiance with her husband and their 2 kids, and they're pushing the cart. Kim's nowhere to be seen, and the kid is just the one daughter is just reaching behind in the cart and taking like items and handing them to her mother. Thank you, and the mother's just thank you, and she puts it back in the cart. The kid reaches back and just keeps. This was going on for a good 5 minutes. After the second time, they're like, stop taking shit out of the cart.
Yep.
Just stop. That's bad parenting. Thank
Yes.
you. We don't hit. Use your words to no.
Right. I will smack Raylan's hand if he starts to punch or hit or whatever. Like, no, we don't do this here. That's garbage. We don't treat people that way. And so,
The correct answer is not thank you.
no.
It's no thank you.
Yeah.
And leave them hanging.
Or put it back.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's where you get to. You can start off with no thank you. You can start polite.
Mm.
So that was today's adventure in babysitting. Was making the decision. And evidently, I chose wisely yet poorly at the same time.
I didn't think that was even possible, but
I didn't think so either. I thought I did pretty well. Like I said, if she didn't like it, she don't have to bring him back. Not gonna kill me.
Well, you certainly didn't. You should just know that no matter how you did, you weren't going to win Father of the Year.
Well, I've already won that award for my children. So, I don't need to win it for theirs.
Well, this year the award is going to Chris Rock.
Chris Rock won it. I thought Chris Pratt was going to win it.
Mm-mm. Chris Rock is the Father of the Year because he parlayed his Oscar hosting gig into a venue to have his girls come and sell Girl Scout cookies.
Oh.
How do you compete with that?
The entire troop.
Oh, that's pretty good.
They said that they sold $65,000.
No, that was part of the prank. They actually sold it about 10. They sold out, but I think it wound up being about $6,000.
Nice.
That they made.
Now I was at Walmart the other day, and of course there were Girl Scouts outside selling cookies, and they did go the extra mile in their sales techniques, and they learned the Troop Beverly Hills cookie song that's performed in that movie, and they were actually singing it outside the Walmart. That almost got me to buy a box of overpriced, underfilled cookies.
Yeah, Girl Scout cookies are very disappointing.
They're tiny.
Anymore.
They're the size of a quarter now.
I mean, Thin Mints, okay, they say a box is like 8 servings. No, it's not. It's 2. There's 2 sleeves in there.
Yes, exactly.
2 servings.
Well, and they say there's 8 to 10 servings of Samoas in a box. No,
there's not.
There's not even really 4. There's 4 rows of cookies, but there's only like 5 cookies in each row.
Yeah, but
really, there's one.
There's
1 serving.
If there's 4 rows, then the row is like the boundary, right? So you have a method. You can say, okay, I'm going to eat this row.
Yeah, but
I don't want to leave one cookie there by itself. I'll eat this row.
But you double up the cookies. You go back to back on those.
No, I don't do that.
Yeah, you got to.
No.
They're so tiny.
And?
Well, it's just you have to do that.
To me, there's only 2 important Girl Scout cookies.
The chocolate-covered peanut butter ones. Is that one?
Those are the Do-si-dos.
Do-si-dos, okay.
Thin Mints.
No, wait, were the Do-si-dos? I thought the Do-si-dos weren't the chocolate-covered ones. Those were the shortbread ones with peanut butter. No? Okay.
Thin Mint and Samoas.
I like Samoas, even though they can't call them that anymore.
It depends which bakery.
Yeah.
There's 2 different bakeries. One says Caramel Delight, the other says Samoa.
Yeah, but in this region, we have the Caramel Select.
Right, we have the bakery that does caramel.
Yeah.
But the thing is, both of those are available year-round from Keebler.
Yeah, now they are.
In any grocery store.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, what's the point?
Do you remember a couple of years ago, Walmart started selling the knockoffs in the off-season? Like Girl Scout cookies. Girl Scout cookies are kind of like the McRib, that they're only available a certain time.
Yeah,
right.
During the year. Well, when the Girl Scouts stopped selling them, Walmart started selling their versions. And they were awesome.
Well, because they were probably $1 cheaper.
And they were available all the time.
Yeah, because Keebler actually is one of the bakeries that makes them for Girl Scout cookies.
Okay.
And so both the Samoas and the Thin Mints are sold by Keebler in any store.
As?
I think one's called Grasshopper.
Yeah, Grasshoppers are Thin Mints.
The Samoas are called Caramel.
Yeah, somethings. But they're not quite the same. They're slightly different. Because I have tried them.
The Grasshoppers have a different shape. The Samoas are pretty much exactly like Samoas.
I don't know. I've tried them. They're not the same. I think it has to do with the ground up Girl Scouts.
Okay, the Keebler ones are Fudge Shop Coconut Dreams.
Yep.
Yeah, but they're not the same. I'm telling you, they are not the same. Something about the caramel is different.
They are on Amazon. Oh my god.
Are they on the instant refill list?
Oh, there's 3. Okay. Wait, what? Girl Scout cookies are on Amazon?
Yes, you can sell online now. That was a big change last year because they were shutting down people that were selling them on via Facebook.
Wait,
but this year, they okayed it last year.
Girl Scout Caramel Delights cookies from Little Brownie Bakers, and they're Prime eligible. No,
That just makes your life horrible.
but it's $10 a box.
Holy crap! They're only $4 a box.
Well, this is what happens when. But it's funny. Like I pull this up, and there's all kinds of like. Okay, who is this? Clover Valley coconut fudge and caramel cookies, just like Samoa's. It's $7. This is where. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back because the fudge shop ones. There's 3 boxes for $20.
What the hell? I'm looking at Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies, 2 boxes. Okay, never mind, because it said that they were used. Used from $8.25. Like, what, used? What are you sending me? I don't want used cookies. So here is Girl Scout cookies, 1 box of 15 cookies. Tagalongs, that's what they were. The chocolate covered peanut butters, those were tagalongs. Good Lord, those are expensive cookies. Don't buy Girl Scout cookies online. There's your public service announcement for tonight. They are ridiculously expensive. Although I found something else that was really expensive too when I was looking.
The Girl Scout cookie oven.
No, I was looking for chicken and rice Purina, and I was looking for a large bag. And where was I looking at? I was looking at somewhere on Amazon, and it was going to be $120 for a bag of dog food.
What kind of dog food?
Purina 1. Because it's incredibly difficult to find chicken and rice in this town. You can find lamb and rice all day long, but finding chicken and rice was very difficult.
The Smart Blend chicken and rice?
Yeah. So because I was looking for like the 31-pound bags.
How would $30 be?
Well, is that the one that has plus $20 shipping?
Well, this one. Well, here I'm just gonna send you.
Yeah. Because
it's not Amazon.
Oh, it's not Amazon. Oh, I found that exact same link. Do you like that company?
We actually get our dogs food from them instead of our vet.
Okay.
Because they're on prescription food, and it's cheaper through them, and it gets delivered to your doorstep, no problem. This one here, the free shipping at $49. So
yeah, so I was gonna have to
buy two
bags. Yeah, I was talking to the wife. The one we're talking about, I'll give them a plug. Chewy.com is I'd seen a lot of reviews, and my wife was like, "Well, I'm very protective of our dogs, so I want to know that they're a good company."
Yes,
because and so I'm like, "Well, I don't mind buying 2 30-pound bags because it's not like it really goes bad before they eat it."
No.
Hell, damn it.
And actually, you may be able to get free shipping. They have an auto ship, which you may be able to get free shipping if you sign up for that. I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, so I was thinking, all right, well, it might be definitely worth it if I can get 2 bags, shipped when we need it. And then, free shipping, because that works out to be the exact same price as what it is at Walmart or Sam's Club or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And if it can be shipped to my door, hey, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I like things shipped to my door.
So we get ours, and the cats love the box.
Yeah.
I think they actually, I think Chewy actually puts on the back of their, on the outside of their shipping containers or their boxes, says, "Hey, a box. Cats love us." Or something to that effect.
Yeah. Now, Mike, talking about eating dog food, everything, eating dog food, But talking about eating and everything else, you had a story about a guy who was basically a living joke,
Oh,
right?
Lord.
I mean, because I've heard this joke before where he go, you eat so much, you go
Yeah.
home.
This guy basically took it ridiculous. He took all you can eat to the limit. All right, and if John Panette was alive, John Panette probably would have.
Isn't John Panette alive?
No, John Panette is dead.
Okay. I didn't know he died.
Right?
April 5th, 2014. You're right. He died.
Yeah. So
I did
Now-
not know that.
now let me just start. I feel bad for this guy in the sense that he's on welfare, and this is, so you kind of try to maximize when you eat out, right?
Yeah.
This gentleman, he's 51 years old. He's on welfare. He's suing Golden Corral for $2 million for false advertising because he was thrown out of one of the chain's restaurants after he had been there for 7 hours, ingesting a quantity of food which is estimated between 50 and 70 pounds.
Oh.
Now, this is in Springfield, Massachusetts. Now, here I'm going to send you the link to the story
Okay.
because when you see the gentleman, suddenly the story
Makes sense.
has a different turn.
Okay. While I pull that link up, we'll hear this.
Went to this Chinese all-you-can-eat buffet, and well, the owner, he got pissed. I mean, he was rude, though. He'd come out every hour.
Good Lord.
Son of a bitch, still here.
Have you seen that before, Colin?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my God, this man is huge.
Yes.
Or I'm sorry, he's so big, the H is gone run away. He's huge.
So, in looking at the gentleman, eating 50 to 70 pounds seems like it could very well be a normal meal for him.
Yeah.
However, I'm at a loss here. Like the all-you-can-eat stuff, I think they actually do have disclaimers on that.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Let's see if they're on their website, because I'm sure Golden Corral has a website. Although Golden Coral doesn't.
I'm sure Golden Coral does, but it's not the website you were looking for.
Nope, it's for sale on GoDaddy if you want to buy it.
No, not really.
Jeff Foxworthy is, of course, their spokesman. And let's see here. Private FAQ. Who do I locate? Gift certificates. Is takeout available? Comment. Who can I talk to about? PDF. What is a PDF? How many people don't know what a PDF is nowadays? Good as Gold Club. Military appreciation. I don't see anything necessarily about what all you can eat means. It just says best buffet. Maybe they don't actually use the term all you can eat anymore. They just say best buffet.
Well, here's the thing. Now, I'm actually looking this up, and somebody actually says that like depending on the buffet, if they have items out there for lunch, usually they may have times like lunch buffet, breakfast buffet,
Right.
dinner buffet. So if you stay during the overlap,
Yeah.
then you could get dinged for both. But I gotta believe that after this there was something put
Somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so, but I didn't see anything on their website. Now, I'm sure there's something on their menu
Or
in
there's
very
a
small
sign.
print.
Or
Yeah.
there's a sign hanging somewhere that says management reserves the right to
Now,
tell you to get out.
Mr. Fleming told reporters it's a serious injustice and I'm deeply insulted. But he also says the employee of Golden Corral did not use any insulting language, but he claims the disgust that was visible on their faces has left him with some deep emotional wounds. So a look evidently is worth this millions of dollars now.
Mm.
After he'd been there for 7 hours. With my income, I rarely go to a restaurant, so I try to get as much as I can for my money when I do. Not only did they kick me out while I was still hungry, but they looked at me like I was disgusting, like I was not worthy of eating there. It's unacceptable, and I demand a compensation.
A meal is typically not defined as 7 hours.
No, that's like a shift at work.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't do overnights to eat. Did he expect them to stay open past their closing time to allow him to continue to graze on the buffet?
Yeah.
Although, truth be told, walking the buffet line is probably the most exercise that man has had in a long time.
Well, do we know? He may have had a cart.
That is true. I bet he had a Fatmobile.
Yeah.
I mean, how did he get there in the first place? Back of a pickup truck? Forklift? I mean, my dad is a big guy. He's not that big. And this goes hand in hand with that I need a medical degree. Even if it's honorary, I think doctor should be in front of my name. Because I can diagnose conditions such as his. Fatitis. All right? And I say that because of this conversation that I had. Now, Thursday, I had a doctor's appointment. I was transitioning to a new doctor. Now, I walk in, and it's the first appointment, so, of course, they always start with, well, what do you think your general problems are with you? And I said, well, I'm fat, and my blood pressure is probably high. Okay. Look me over, stare into this light, clap your fingers and follow follow this and knock on the knee and all that kind of crap. So at the end of the appointment, what do you think their diagnosis was for what I needed to do?
Diet and exercise.
I need to diet, exercise, and get my blood pressure under control. Wow. They went to school for that long to figure out what I could have told them already.
Yeah. By the way,
Uh-huh.
So this is at roadnewsdailyreport.com.
Yes, and it's a hoax?
Yeah.
It's a hoax, Mike.
You're basically reading it off one of those, like The Onion.
How bad is it that there's more Onion-type sites than there are legitimate news sites? I thought something about his head seemed a bit unproportional.
That's actually a picture of James from the TLC show My 600-Pound Life.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. The picture's real.
Oh, man.
Mike, you fell for it.
I fell for it.
And you brought me right along because, well, I go with you.
I'll eat a bean after bean penalty.
So, but yeah, so that's what they told me. So now, at least I know this doctor has a sense of humor. All right? Because several things. She said, well, do you exercise? And I said, well, I moved a treadmill into my office. And she goes, uh-huh. I go, yep, that's as far as it's gotten so far. I said, there's a TV in front of it and everything. And she said, well, that's good. Now we just need to get you to use it. I said, yes, you're right. And then she goes, how do you feel about salt? I said, I like salt. I like it on my food. She goes, okay, not the answer I was looking for. She goes, and then she says, well, do we need to get you an appointment with a nutritionalist? I said, why? I know what I need to do. I need to eat less crappy food, and I need to exercise more. I don't have a problem with knowing what I need to do. I know what I need to do. I need to get off my fat ass and do it is the problem. So unless you have a do it specialist, there's nothing anyone else is going to be able to help me do.
But they do actually have do it specialists as well.
So,
Do it.
So that's the big thing. I'm like, listen, I know what I need to do. I know that I've gained 50 pounds in the last year. All right. I know that's the problem. That's the root problem of a lot of things. It's just fixing it. So,
Yep. So just so you know, I'm okay with the site that told me that was a hoax.
Uh-huh.
They're also letting us know not to be fooled. There's another one. So a man was not rushed to the emergency room to have a cat removed from his penis.
Okay.
So if that one comes up, that's also a hoax.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I should be a doctor because I can diagnose these things very easily. Anyone that's having problems, I call Dr. Shaggy. We can get you hashed out. I can diagnose you over the air. Just pay your copay via PayPal.
Can't do it over the air.
Can't do it over the air?
No, not because of HIPAA regulations.
Now, wait a second. There's a medical marijuana guy that'll do it over over Skype.
Yeah, over Skype.
Okay, fine. So we'll anonymize your voice.
You cannot
tell me who you are.
Tell Alexa to stop listening.
She is. She's red. She's not listening.
Okay. No, you can do it over Skype because that is a point-to-point communication.
What if we black out everything?
No,
what if we just anonymize everything? What if we say it's one of those call-in shows like Dr. Ruth or whatever? I won't actually prescribe them medication. I will give them I will give them the type of advice that a normal doctor would give. So call it and we will give you medical advice.
So you're basically Charlie Bartlett without the pills.
I am as qualified as that 19-year-old in Florida,
Miami,
who had his own clinic and was running his own profession out of there,
and went to jail.
I am not actually treating patients, though. I'm just merely giving them advice on how to cure themselves.
Hey, Colin.
Yeah.
Are you starting to get the feeling that this is kind of like Shaggy's hotel? That
it's not my hooker hotel.
Every room comes with a prostitute, so you're not actually paying for the prostitute; you're paying for the hotel room.
I'm saying I'm giving this away for free. Call up.
Now we got a big problem right off the bat.
What? Because we're giving away advice.
Because if you're going to do this, then we got to commit and you got to monetize it somehow. All right. We have to fund this show somehow.
Okay.
And real quick, before we go to break, I just want to say how disappointed I am in Captain Kraken.
Yes, that's true.
In fact, I will do one more check here. Check my spam just to make sure. I'm checking. Oh, let me put it over here. This way I don't block you guys. I can close that. Let's just make sure. No. What is this? Yeah, that's spam. No. Okay, nothing here. $11 more. Nope. So Captain Kraken did not get back to us.
It's very possible there might be a very simple explanation for this. Maybe Captain Kraken should have been on his own pool list.
On what?
Maybe Captain Kraken passed away, is what he's saying.
Oh.
I'm saying.
It's possible. I don't
he has disappeared.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a few. Everyone, please stay tuned.
When you're looking for that perfect gift for any occasion with a personal touch, but don't want to break the bank, make Butterstown.com your first stop. The team at Butterstown can make you personalized gifts for birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, holidays, girls' night out, baby's first Christmas. If you dream it, they can make it. Glassware, signs, memorials, treat jars, and custom orders are welcomed. Gifts for friends and family, both two-legged and four-legged. Butterstown.com is your go-to shop. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for all of their latest offerings. Butterstown.com, proud supporters of New Beginnings Animal Rescue.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. All-You-Can-Eat Buffet Inventor.
Mr. All-You-Can-Eat Buffet Inventor.
You've given us the real American dream. A tray, 15 feet of food, and a little sign that says, "Go nuts, buddy."
Pinch me, I'm dreaming.
Pushing side dish innovation to its limits, you offer creamed everything and 400 flavors of gelatin.
Feed and frenzy.
If there's beef, you'll chip it. If there's chicken, you'll fry it. And if there's gravy, well, then everything's going to be okay.
Thank God for the gravy.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, buffet boy. You know the way to a man's heart and a few hundred tasty ways to challenge it.
Mr. All-You-Can-Eat Buffet Inventor.
Bud Light beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom, but a little over a year ago, we realized she couldn't take care of herself without our help. And well, how could I not be there for her? I had no idea how hard it would be, and just what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood, and even for me, ways to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics that got me started, but also information about the hurdles I was facing in this new role. I could even connect with experts and hear from others who had been in my place. I know this road we're on isn't an easy one, but I'm really happy to have the extra help for her and for me. Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. This message is brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Here are your hosts. Your hosts for this evening. Shaggy.
Funny. Ha-ha. Not funny.
Colin.
It's going rogue left and right, man.
And Mike, the Ape Man.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
PTR Radio.
You ready to kick ass?
All right, everybody, welcome back for hour number 2 of the show. Again, this is PTR Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, 877-787-8822 is our number. You can call that anytime you're listening to the show, whether it's on podcast or not. You can always leave us a voicemail. We'll be more than happy to play it during our next show. You can also tweet us at PTR Radio, or any of that information as well as more is at ptrradio.com. That's where you can find out all of our individual Facebook and Twitter links. Read more about the show, subscribe to our podcast, of course, listen to the most recent episodes, all that fun stuff. Everything is located there, ptrradio.com. So coming up in this hour, a lot more stuff to talk about that went on while we were off the air. But Colin, we've talked about it before, Griffinisms.
Yes.
All right. Now, your nephew, Griffin, is a boy, an old man trapped in a boy's body, I think is what we've said before, right?
Yes.
Much wise beyond his years, I know has been said. And that's partially because of the things that come out of his mouth. And so much so that his mom has gone to creating a Griffinisms Facebook page, which we all follow. And recently she pulled some out of the archive, I think, that he said. And can you just give us a couple of them out there so that people
Sure.
can get familiar again with what some of the Griffinisms are?
Yes. Well, first off, backstory. My sister loves the Bette Midler movie, Beaches.
As we all do.
So Beaches is on TV. Griffin came up at the end and asked why I was crying. I told him about what was going on. His response, "You like this? It makes you cry, but you want it to watch? You're confused, Mommy. Seriously crazy."
Yeah, as all mommies are.
Listen, anybody who doesn't cry at Beaches just doesn't know what they're lying.
No, there's the same people that don't cry at Old Yeller or when Bambi's mom dies. They're sick individuals.
Mom, I am not leaving this house until my outfit screams that Spider-Man is my second favorite superhero. Like, a little bit of Batman so he doesn't feel replaced, but then a whole lot of Spider-Man.
That's just pure kid right there.
That was one of my favorite.
Mm-hmm. And now he's also hawking products too. I heard.
Yeah,
he is. I'll pull that up here so that we can actually play.
I think that
that
was
one.
from when a couple years ago when he was 4. Griffin ran out of school towards me, yelling very exciting news. Mom, one day the sun will run out of gas and implode, and the whole Earth will die. That's great, buddy. Any more good news? Yeah, they served pizza for lunch.
Here's Griffin last year, February 28, 2014, 2 years ago, with a product endorsement.
I used to have a tough stain in my sweatshirt. And then I didn't know we had OxyClean. And we did. And it got my tough stain out. It's not clean till it's OxyClean.
That's just plain adorable right there. I mean, he is the next Vince Offer, minus the beating up prostitutes.
Oh yeah. Well, hopefully we keep that around.
You should teach him the Slap Chop song. That's what you should do next. I want to see that kid doing Slap Chop.
Yeah, okay, I'll do one more.
Yeah.
So Griffin is really into the Star Wars spirit. He waved his hand in front of my face this morning and said, "You will buy me popcorn at the movie."
Almost as adorable as the VW kid. All right. Mike, you had a link that you wanted to talk about regarding executions.
Yeah.
Which is a weird turn to take after Inspirational Little Kid. You know, let's go to death.
I don't know why I saved this.
Well, because you're kind of weird.
Yeah. So I will send you this link so you can follow along. Now, this is going to... Unfortunately, this site has like a lot of ads. So this is just going to... My connection's going to wind up being buggy now.
Okay.
And it's a bunch of pages, of course.
Oh, it's a click next, click next, click next.
Yeah.
Holy God, what are you having me look at? This is horrible.
Is the site so bad that we just want to skip it?
Oh, I'm just looking at the man impaled on a stake.
Yes, so
tails to top. That is just disgusting. Another one seems to be cleaved in half.
Yes. So these are things that they actually used to do, like boiling to death.
Oh,
was actually something.
Oh, we are not linking this on PTRradio.com.
All right, maybe we should and not cover it during the show because it's there's a lot of visuals here. So
yeah, there are a lot of visuals, and they're not safe for work either.
Well, if you choose to go ahead and look at it, then it's on you. But
Lord, if you hurt puppies as a child, you will enjoy that link. I mean, that's horrible, Mike. Why would you show that?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you deep psychologically? That link, that you even found that link. What does your browser history look like?
George Takei shared that link.
What? Not
okay.
Oh my.
No, on Facebook now. Okay, I don't know if you public service message. If you want to remember something like a recipe or what have you, you don't have to share it anymore.
No, that's what my wife does. My wife thinks that if she wants to be able to remember a recipe, she needs to like it and share it and everything else.
You can go the little arrow on the top right corner of a post. You can click that and you can save the link. And now on the left-hand side, underneath like your favorites and what have you, there's a category for saved. So when you save stuff, this is where I've been saving all my recipes. And it tells you where you saved it from. You know, I've got stuff like Alton Brown's fried macaroni and cheese recipe, which was saved from Alton Brown's post, obviously. But this one was saved from George Takei's post.
Why in the world is he turning dark the older he gets?
The post that goes along with it, those of you waiting for Game of Thrones to return, this should tide you over.
Oh, couldn't he have posted some puppies or something? I mean,
so
anything other than that
would have been, yeah. Well,
I mean, that is just horrible. All right, moving along. Something else just to clear the air from that, and go back to youngins.
Do we have a quiz this week? Kim was asking me.
Do we have a quiz? I don't have a quiz this week.
It's wow.
I don't have a survey or a quiz, but you know what?
Because she asked me, how was the show? What was your quiz?
What was your quiz? Let's see here. I'm stumped that there isn't one, because usually I do always have one every week. Let's just see if there's any surveys that were done within the last week and go from there. Last month. Let's see here. Quality of living rankings. That's boring. Trump and Clinton still have big SC leads according to polling policy.
Maybe we can talk about the Oscars.
Yeah.
I didn't watch.
How mad are you that DiCaprio got an Oscar?
I am not.
I am, because now we don't have any more sad DiCaprio memes. I mean, now we're just gonna get the Where Travolta meme and the sad Keanu meme more than ever.
And the sad weird Will Smith.
Yeah, sad Will Smith meme. I mean, all the ones DiCaprio was taking up so much meme percentage, all right, before, because he never won an Oscar. Now something has to replace DiCaprio, and it's gonna be like it's gonna be sad Cameron Kirk's birthday. You know, that's
sad. Who?
Cameron Kirk. Kirk Cameron. Well, those of you in the legal profession would call him Cameron, Kirk, because that's how you would file him if you were to put him
what
into
upset
a drawer.
me the most about Leo finally winning, and I'm glad he won. But what upset me the most was he took the time to talk about global climate change and how it's a real issue and all. Didn't once talk about vaping.
No, he didn't. And doesn't he own some stock in a vape company?
I don't think he owns stock in a vape company, but in the ridiculously valuable Oscar nominee goodie bag, apparently there's a $250 vape pen that, listen, and if any Oscar nominees are out there
and don't vape,
don't vape, don't care to vape, show ptrradio.com or Mike the 8man at gmail.com. You can email me. I'll give you my address. You can send it to me. I'm just saying. I don't want the $55,000 trip to Greece that's in your goodie bag. Yeah. I just want the vape pen.
Depends if he actually took the bag, because most of them don't actually get the bags.
Now, I did like damn it, now I can't. There was a meme going around with
Chrissy Teigen.
No, with him receiving the Oscar, and then behind him had Family Feud guy with an envelope going, "I'm sorry."
Oh. Apparently, I didn't know this. Once
That
you
was
get
pretty
the
good.
Oscar, the winner does his little speech or what have you in front of the press, and then they take it upstairs, and the name is engraved on site.
Okay.
Oh,
I did
that's
not know that. TMZ reported it, and apparently, the engraver actually does it freehand with a Dremel.
Nice.
Impressed the hell out of me. I mean, look, I make some beautiful stuff with my Dremel. Don't get me wrong. There ain't no way in hell you're gonna get me engraving somebody's name on an Oscar.
I wonder if he's ever misspelled a name.
It's a she. So the
She.
answer is probably yes.
Let's see here. Misspelled Oscar. John Hamm says his name was misspelled on his Golden Globe. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey was the one that was behind there. Do not misspell Anne Hathaway's name at your awards. Evidently, she was misspelled at the Golden Globes as well.
Probably.
From Les Miserables.
See, Lionel Richie had his name spelled wrong at the BET Awards.
Oh, where's Al Sharpton on that one?
What? Say that one more time, just so that I'm sure I got it right.
Lionel Richie's name was misspelled.
Okay.
At the BET Awards.
Good. So Lionel Richie. All right. Because for a second, I thought you said the blind piano player. And I'm like, how could he tell?
Ray Charles? It's engraved. He ran his fingers across it.
It's not Braille.
I'm sorry. The Girl Scouts sold 500 boxes of cookies at $5 a pop.
They're only $4.
Well,
they upcharged.
I'm sure the Girl Scouts didn't have change, and I'm sure it was a convenience charge for you're at the Oscars, which is a crappy award show. Pay me an extra $1. Now, they probably got closer to like $6,000 because people were buying one box and giving them. These stars don't carry $5 bills.
Yeah, true. I'll tell you what. The one thing I like about Lionel Richie the best is the story that he did on a radio. He did this on a TV interview show where he said that as soon as he got his Commodore's money, he went out and he wanted to buy Mercedes for all the Commodores. And so he went in to buy the Mercedes, and the salesman looked at him and said, "Can I help you?" And he goes, "Yes, I'd like to buy 5 Mercedes." And the guy goes, "Okay, can I have your name? Or all right, can you fill this out?" And so he goes, "All right, well, just call my manager here." And so the salesman gets on the phone, and he goes, "Yes, I have a Lionel Richie." And you know what show that was on, right? What show he was interviewed on that told that story?
No.
That was a very famous one with 3 hosts on it. He drove a reasonably priced car.
I didn't remember he was ever on that.
Yep. He was, and he drove a wheel off.
How about your man apologizing?
I don't know why he did that, because he already did that like almost a year ago.
He apologized because he recognizes that the star power of the Tribbiani is going to force him into irrelevant territory.
Have you seen the cast? It's like they said, all right, we need to get the cast of We Are the World to host this new show. Let's get a woman, a black guy, a ginger, let's get everybody possible in there. In fact, let's get a German woman who's the only one that can actually drive.
We're getting the Nate territory here. So
what? That's a problem?
No, that we're repeating ourselves.
Oh, okay. Sorry. But he brought up. I agree. I agree. There is no reason why Joey should be on the show.
No, fear the Tribbiani.
He happens to be the fastest star in a reasonably priced car, but there is no reason why I know why that call is okay. Let me tell you how my day started. All right, this is a call. I just had a call. I had to send a voicemail. I know what that call is. All right. Because I got a call from my dad this morning telling me that my father-in-law's machine had started saying out of the speakers, "Your machine has been encrypted. Please pay this ransom." And this is one of my father-in-law's friends that just called me, and I'm sure his machine is saying the same god darn thing. All right? Old people have no use for a computer. All right? They need to go back to a teletype, maybe a rotary phone.
Can I be honest with you?
They need to just stop. Yeah.
If my mother I got so fed up with my mother the last time, I told her to take the machine to Best Buy.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to deal with it. And I came home and I told Kim, I said, you know what? If they run into a problem again, I'm just going to tell them to get a Chromebook.
I am just.
Get a damn Chromebook.
Don't put anything on your computer that you couldn't lose to encryption.
I'm just luckily there is nothing, at least on my father-in-law's, that's worth a damn, so I can just wipe it and completely redo it.
Right.
The fault, though, is the second phone call probably is stuff on his machine, and there is no getting it back. There's just tough. I'm telling people, don't pay the ransom. I don't care. All right? But, don't. I don't even want to take a look at these people's machines for fear of doing my own, encrypting my own.
Yes.
Because I actually have stuff that's worthwhile.
I am actually going to, I had this shirt once before. I'm going to have Kim make me another one that says, "No, I will not fix your computer."
Yeah.
And on the back, "No, really, I am not fixing your computer."
It just is.
There was a period in my life where I would do that. That period, I have reached help you with your computer menopause.
I am at the point
It's
where, and look, I got enough problems with computers in this house. All right. Kim's machine, which is on Wi-Fi, running Windows 8.1, which has the known Wi-Fi curse. I'm about ready to just buy a copy of Windows 10 and just redo her machine again. Because 8.1 and Wi-Fi, apparently, it's a known issue, and Microsoft basically said, yeah, we're not going to... We know it's an issue, but Windows 10 is coming out, so don't worry about it.
Right. So why... If she has 8 installed, then should be able to install 10.
No. Wait. Tom can see the chat, right?
Yes. So, speaking about encryption and everything else, has everybody been following this Apple v. Feds case? Where the feds are trying to force Apple to give them a version of the firmware which would allow them to basically go around the encryption stuff. So the whole idea was that the government wanted to force Apple to, again, like I said, create a version of the operating system that would allow them to get around the passkey, or allow them to keep trying, a ton of tries to get through that.
Yeah, and I'm on the fence about this one. Like, Apple...
And now originally the Fed said, oh, it's for this one case. We won't set a precedent, anything else.
No, no.
Exactly.
Apple should have a way that they can pull data off that phone.
Well, Apple has given them access to things. They said, listen, we'll reset the iCloud account, so that you can get in and get any data which was synced with iCloud. They said, listen, we will help. They have helped them as much as the judge has ordered them to help them, and more.
Right.
All right. The thing that they stopped short of was compromising their own security system.
Yes.
With hacks and cracks to get around the number of times you can do an incorrect password before it locks the phone.
Right. Now Apple's going to probably be patching the phones to block the one back door that is currently open.
Yeah.
Because apparently, without anybody knowing it, Apple does have the ability to force a phone to update.
Yes.
Without actually having the user touch the thing that says, yes, I want it to update.
Right. Without putting in the code.
Right.
To actually unlock the phone prior to binding it to a machine.
Yes. So my guess is that Apple, in their next update, is going to be putting in a fix that says that doesn't work anymore.
Not only, they're going to be doing that. Plus, they're going to be upgrading their one-way encryption methodology to a point where they say even they won't be able to reverse engineer it.
Well, I thought they already were there.
I don't know that they're. I think they're there, but I don't know. That's what they said. Now, whether that means the fix you were talking about or something else, but they said essentially they're making it a phone so that even they can't recover it.
Because right now, what's happening is the feds want to push an update to the phone that will remove the "you've tried too many times, wipe the phone" code.
Right. Exactly.
So, like I said.
And Apple is saying that is a dangerous tool to have.
Right.
And
like
I believe,
I think that's going to take away even the ability to do that.
Yeah. Now, like I said, the feds originally said, well, this is just for the San Bernardino case. We won't set a precedent to anything else. Meanwhile, after they said that to Apple, they have gone ahead and told the Justice Department, hey, by the way, once we get this from Apple, here's 11 more cases we want to use it on.
Yes. Well, they already have 11 other cases they have open with Apple.
Yeah.
Other lawsuits.
So they lied already.
Yes.
And they say, oh, well, we'll protect it. We'll make sure that this technology never gets out there. You can't do that ever.
No. And you've already opened the door for North Korea to say, hey, we want that too.
Yeah. Every government in the world will want it, and as soon as that's done, everybody will have it.
Yes.
And now, I'm not one of the people that actually encrypts their phone. I don't, but my work will make me if I ever join their BYOD network.
Yes.
Okay? And I don't have a problem with that. And had the office that this guy worked for had the controls in place, had the software, which only runs like $35 a year, installed on the phone, they wouldn't have this problem. Okay, now that's not to say that that type of software would solve everything, but if you're talking about work-related phones, it solves the problem for work-related phones.
Yep. Now, my phone is encrypted just because it is, in fact, an iPhone.
Right.
But I do not have the feature turned on that wipes it after too many password tries.
Right. Not only that, but is yours done to the fingerprint scanner too?
Yeah, I use fingerprint scanner.
Yeah, they're saying that this guy's was not done to the, and I think most people probably do to the fingerprint scanner.
His
where
phone
it's available.
was a generation older. It wasn't.
Wasn't capable of it.
Right.
So they're saying that they can't use his dead fingerprint to do it. All right, I'm sorry, but that's just the way that it goes, and there is no indications, zero indications that anything on that phone would lead them to anything else. Right. This was an isolated case of just a whacked out guy.
Now, the simple reason that I don't have that feature turned on is I don't have anything on this phone that the feds would care about.
No.
Unless they really want to play my copy of Angry Birds.
And the feds already have multiple ways of tracking all the other information, phone calls, text messages, and everything else.
Oh, yeah. Because all my mail's on Microsoft servers, so I'm sure they have all access to that.
So, the thing of the feds want to use this, and now I just got a message from Yahoo Update that the New York judge rules in favor of Apple in earlier locked iPhone case. So this is going to end up going all the way up in the courts, but at least in the New York junket, the judge is siding with Apple, saying that no, you can't make Apple do this. So, Mike, your comments again, given that information?
No, if the court sided against this, people would be flocking away from Apple so damn quick.
Oh yeah. In fact, the people that already have joined the lawsuit on Apple's behalf, Facebook and Android, the Android conglomerated, they're already adding, going, no, you can't force us to do that. You can't force us to mitigate our security property, our security, stuff because of the government.
Because you're the government.
Yeah.
Just because you're the government.
It's the same thing about all the local municipalities. New York, for example, that did local legislation that said if you want a phone sold in New York State or New York City, it has to have a backdoor for police access. Those have all been knocked down.
Yeah.
The feds came in and said, no, you cannot institute blocks of trade and commerce at the state and city levels.
Now, it's not to say that Android phones couldn't be hacked or decrypted easier.
No, nothing. They're both, from what I can tell, they're both using the same level of encryption. So both of the platforms are probably just as secure. And who keeps documents and things on their phones like that?
Well,
where it's also not available on the cloud.
Right.
Androids all sync to your Google Drive and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Apple and stuff sync to your iCloud account.
If you enable those features.
Yeah.
Yes. But even then, I have OneDrive and I have Dropbox and I have iCloud. But OneDrive and Dropbox both require, on every reboot of the phone, you still have to log in for the first time before the fingerprint scanner starts working.
Yeah. So,
or more importantly, my OnePass. Because, if someone got into my OnePass, then they have everything.
And from what I understand, Apple has agreed to basically help out in all of these cases. But once the government went public with the requests, Apple said, well, wait a minute now. Now I'm done with you.
Well, they can't publicly acknowledge their release of that type of software.
No.
It just can't happen. And now it's out there. They can't do it. So, that's the big thing on that case. At least in my eyes. Now, since we talked about that a little bit.
You know what? It's only a matter of time before somebody says, all of these serial killers, they all have iPhones. iOS has a correlation to...
Oh. Yeah, they're already saying that. They're saying, if you have your iPhone encrypted or if you have your Android phone encrypted, you are a terrorist.
But I did see something else this week while we're talking about iPhones, and let me see if it will come back up here. That apparently the courts overturned a patent infringement case decision between Samsung and Apple. Like $145 million judgment that was supposed to go from Samsung to Apple. The courts overturned it.
Appeals court overturns Apple's $120 million victory in QuickLink's patent case with Samsung. That must be what you're talking about.
Yes.
It was ruled Samsung did not infringe on the patent and that two other patents relating to the iPhone's slide to unlock mechanism and autocorrect feature were invalid. Furthermore, the court decided that Apple is liable for infringing on one of Samsung's patents. The ruling comes just months after a sales ban was put in place on infringing Samsung devices.
Yeah, they have lots of patents going back and forth.
Yeah, they're constantly battling back and forth with patents. Things like swipe to unlock. Should that be patentable at all? That's as patentable as put in a 4-digit code to unlock your phone in my eyes.
Like here's the thing. Like Apple has the actual thing that says slide to unlock.
Yeah. Whereas I think Samsung says swipe.
Yeah.
Swipe
screen to unlock, so you can go any direction. If you choose not to have security on your lock screen. But Okay, so is there really a violation there?
Yeah, I mean, there are so many patents out there for things that they never should have been granted for. I mean, patent rework and patent law is one of the most murkiest subjects ever, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that Happy Birthday had a copyright on it until recently. And we talked about that on the last show.
I mean, it turned out to be an invalid copyright, but
Yes.
still.
But still, they earned lots of money. You know, and this is a great example of more things like that. So, because originally, in an operate patent case, Apple and Samsung had to reach a $548 million settlement. But part of that agreement was that Samsung had the right to reclaim reimbursement should any position of the trial be modified. So, you know, you knew Samsung was going to appeal the ruling and take the case to Supreme Court. Apple responded by urging the court to not hear the latest appeal because the case was closed. We don't want you to hear it because it might take money out of our pockets. That's a reason not to allow an appeal.
No.
Stupidity. Speaking of stupidity, this weekend I had people over at my house all day on Saturday because, as we know, Nate is having an offspring, which is one of the reasons why he's not with us any longer. Okay, so his wife was having a baby shower. So Saturday at my house was get everything ready for the baby shower.
Oh, sounds like fun.
Not really. Okay. So I had his mother-in-law, his sister-in-law, his other sister-in-law. My mom was over, and my wife was here, and they were doing stuff in the kitchen. So I started drinking at 12:30, and then went out to the garage and started smoking cigars. Because I have found that those are repellents, and they're really good ones. So that's what I did. And then the baby shower was on Sunday. I get a text late Saturday afternoon from Nate. And this is, now we all know Nate, all right? We know what kind of a guy Nate is, what his interests are, all right? So this is what I get from him. Where is it? It was a group text. I have to find it here. But it was, there it is. It was, guys answer to the baby shower tomorrow at North End B-Dubs at 12:30. We're doing manly things like wings, beer, and sports. Now, obviously, when you hear Nate's name, you think manly things, right?
Guns.
You know, I would have assumed guns, stereos, you know, point them up, shooter games. If he'd have said, hey, we're going to Dave and Buster's to play video games, that's Nate. If he'd have said, hey, we're going to Indianapolis to race go-karts again, that's Nate. But for him to say wings, beer, and sports, that's not Nate.
Okay. This is doing this during the baby shower, correct?
Yes.
So basically all the guys are invited there and after they drop the women folk off.
Yes.
There's a reason. Is B-Dubs relatively close to the location of the baby shower?
Opposite side of town.
Okay, but not Indianapolis.
No.
Okay. The logic here is twofold. One, it's what Mrs. Nate will tolerate. And two, it's close enough so when it's over, Nate can recruit people to help cart the loot back.
See, and that's where he got burned because we all left. But it was very odd. I only went because there was really a couple people that I thought I needed to bail out. because they were there. I showed up late because I was busy working, because you don't ask me to do something the day before anymore. You give me like a week or two notice, and then there's a chance I'll be there on time. But anyway, so go there. I eat a few boneless wings, drink a beer, and then I'm pretty much out the door because I got other shit to do. Dang. So, yes, you can't say that word. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to do that.
We had that earlier in the John Panetta video.
Yeah, I know, but it was different when they were saying it versus me. There's a difference in there. We're drawing a line somewhere. Actually, I have to do two, Mike, because I did one earlier that you missed.
I was trying to be nice, but
I'm being honest.
Statute of limitations ran out on that one.
Oh, they're so hard.
Yeah, I think I did my year supply last time.
Oh, they're so hard.
One.
Yeah. So, anyway.
I can't tell you. I have gone back and replayed that segment. I really just need to download it because it looks like I'm artificially inflating the view count on that episode. I really should just download it and be done with it, because some of the reactions, like when you see it played back, like, I don't know, have you, Shaggy, you've probably done it. Colin, you probably have not. Have you gone back and actually played the YouTube versions of any of the episodes, gone back to like see how it aired?
We saw a little bit of the last episode just because I wanted to check quality before the show.
Okay.
I don't like listening to my own voice.
I'm not a fan of my own voice either.
Oh, it's so sticky.
But just seeing it with the video, and I tell people this all the time, like, if you're gonna, you gotta at least watch the show. If you're entertained by the podcast, you should go to the YouTube channel and watch the video version.
Yeah,
because half of the
it's bad,
like
very bad.
That bit especially, just the facial reactions that we made, just it brings it to the next level.
Well, not only that, but you got to see the things like when Colin and I were cooking MREs for the first time.
Well, yes.
It doesn't get captured on the radio as much.
No.
So there are definitely some benefits to watching the video. So yeah, I mean, first of all, Nate threw his own baby daddy party. And from what I can tell, from what everyone is telling me, this child is enormous. This child is the biggest child ever to be birthed. This child is only 7 months old, and it's already 30,000 pounds, and it's 70 inches long, and they're gonna have to splay Liz from one side to the other to get it out, and she's gonna give birth 6 months early. And
I believe that what you're describing was actually number 4 on the list of execution methods.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. She is the only woman to ever give birth ever.
This is her first child, yes?
Yes. And I pretty much guarantee it's going to be only. It's just, and he complains about her complaining, but he was just as bad at the baby daddy party. He was just like, oh yeah, it's huge. It's 35 pounds and it's 3 feet long already, and it's, come on.
So yeah,
I'm like, no, it's not. It's a baby. it's a normal sized baby. All right, it's no bigger than any other baby that's ever been born. All right, it's just a baby. It's not an alien. All right. It's not going to come out with an elongated head. All right.
Although that would be cool.
It's not Stewie. Its head isn't like a football. It's not going to get stuck. All right. It's the baby.
There are things that we know. It's a baby.
Yes.
It will probably be extremely ugly because all babies are ugly
except for to their parents.
At birth.
Yeah.
Just a biological fact.
You know, and it's just like, come on. I wasn't that way with my kid at all. Nor was my girlfriend at the time. You know, and she was smaller than Liz is. But it's a baby. Get over it. There are people that literally can't handle her right now, or him, because this is the Christ child. All right, there are so many weird things about this, but it's the second coming is what it is. All right, this is either the Christ child or it's the devil reincarnated. Take your pick. All right. They've already got this baby's attitude plotted out and its entire life and what's going to happen.
And we all know how that works out.
Yeah. So I'm just like, it's a baby.
Well,
and to add to all this, what's going on in my world is I had to move offices. All right. Now, we moved out of what we affectionately refer to as the Bat Cave. All right, because it was basically a large conference room that we had. It used to be a storage room, actually, that took all the storage units out of, and all the cubes were in there. And it was really nice because there were 4 of us that were working together, you know, all kind of an open cube concept where they opened up to each other, and there were some along another wall. And it was good. We could yell and scream at each other. And other than a small doorway, there was no way for the sound to really get out. We were right next door to the break room, so the ice machine was right there. Everything was great. All right, that was wonderful. Then we got told, hey, you're getting kicked out of the Bat Cave. And we said, why? And they said, well, another unit needs a collaborative workspace.
Oh, no. No, that's the kiss of death.
And we said, all right, so you're kicking us out of our collaborative workspace. Why? And they said, well, you don't need as much space. They said, see, they have head count for up to 11. Granted, they only have 6 people right now. But they have head count for up to 11.
Oh, my. So in a couple of years, we'll have a budget again.
And you have head count for 6. You have head count for 7. But you only have 6. I said, okay. So because they could have up to 11, you're going to move them into our spot. And because we have head count for up to 7, where are you going to move us? Well, we're going to move you into a spot with 6 places. That math doesn't work. You're moving them because you don't have a spot big enough to fit all of them, so you're taking our spot. But then you're moving us into a spot that's not big enough to fit all of us. Yeah, that's what we're doing. But that's okay, because we're going to take the team lead and we're going to put him into his own cube. Okay, so this new collaborative space you're building for us,
the one we need the most collaborate
the
with.
one that everybody needs to talk to, isn't going to be in there. This is going to be great. I finally and what are you going to do? Because really, there's only 5 of us and him, and then there's this contractor that's going to be gone in 3 weeks. Yeah, we're going to put the contractor that's going to be gone in the 6 cube with you guys, and then the team lead's going to be outside. All right, so then we're going to have an empty desk because you're not going to fill that position for at least a year. Are you going to move him? Are you going to move the team lead back? No, he's going to stay where he is. You're dumb. All right, I tell you what. Why don't we just move the contractor where you're going to put the team lead, move the team lead where you're going to put the contractor, and then everybody's happy because we get the team lead back where we actually need him.
I can't put a contractor.
Well, that only makes some sense. I'll tell you what. We'll put the team lead where the contractor was going to sit, and we'll just leave the contractor where he is because he's only going to be here for 3 weeks. Okay, you just made me fight for something that you undid immediately. And we still have this problem of there's a 7th person. I'm like, okay, doesn't matter. Breathe. At least you get to take the refrigerator with you. Oh, by the way, you can't take the refrigerator with you. Oh, son of a boo! What is wrong with you people?
Who paid for the refrigerator?
People in the Bat Cube, including us. We bought a refrigerator together.
So why can't you take it?
Oh, the electrician said you can't put the refrigerator in that space.
Can you put it in the cubicle they were going to put your team leader into?
Oh, no. But I said, why not? If you look one row over, somebody else has a refrigerator plugged in the same kind of outlet.
Because you made the mistake of asking.
I'm like, well, at least we get to take the network printer with us.
No,
you can't have the network printer either.
So you. This is like the plot, the subplot of Office Space.
I said, okay, fine. At least nothing else can go wrong. I shouldn't have said that because they set up the new cubes, and you've got 3 cubes on each side of this big giant rectangle, right? All of them can see into each other. Everything, a nice collaborative space with a table in the middle. Then we go to plug something in to the baseboards on the cubes, and there's no power. They didn't plug the cubicle walls into the circuit. And I said, what about power? We kind of need that for computers. We don't have laptops. And they said, oh, you see the silver boxes? Oh, you mean the one silver box in the middle cube on each wall that has 4 plugs on it. Not 4 sets of plugs, 4 plugs. 2 wall sockets.
Yeah, those.
They said, yeah, those
silver boxes that basically are like the boxes that go in the wall, and they just put a plate on it and run a power cable to, right?
Yes,
I know those. That's what they use in the cubicles in the collaboration zones at my place.
So they have these 2 tripping blocks.
I call them ghetto fabulous power strips.
So they have those 2. So you have 2 plugs on each side of the cube walls. You have 2 plugs facing one direction, 2 plugs facing the other direction. And then they gave us 25-foot long surge strips and said, here, run these to your cubes. And that's how you'll have power. Running a surge strip from the middle cube to the front cube, and from the middle cube to the back cube, and a surge strip for the middle cube as well. And I said, that's great, but some of us need more than 6 outlets. Well, just daisy chain them. Because I'm sure that's according to code.
And I'm sure that your breaker is going to be able to handle all of that.
Well, it is so far. But when we went to go turn on the underhead lights above all of our flipper doors, sparks came out of one of them. Sparks and bad noises and flickery lights.
I'm going to need you to move down to storage B.
And
so, but Shaggy, I will give them this.
Yes.
At least they were correct that you could not get the refrigerator to work in there.
That wasn't on the same outlet. No, because get this. We actually created a spot for the refrigerator in the layout, and they left that spot there. It has its own dedicated power just for that. Not only that, but they put a network drop there in case we got a smart fridge, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't get both network drops on my desk plugged in because we were short of ports in the closet, but we've got network access for what now we've been told we can have a microwave. They got us a table, and they said, well, you can't have a refrigerator, but you can have a microwave. Great. So I can get something that pulls 1,000 watts, but not a refrigerator. Perfect.
Well, a microwave and a refrigerator are completely different load types.
Exactly.
So, I can see that. A refrigerator and a laser printer both have similar power requirements.
But it's just...
Oh, I understand.
So, we stole everything that wasn't bolted down. when we left our old bat cave. So much so that we tore the sign off the wall that said what we were. Somebody came and said, "Hey, you guys even took your sign." I said, "Well, it's not your name, now is it? It's ours. It won't do you any good." We took everything. So that's how my moving experience has gone so far.
I pray to God that you don't ever like move out of your house anytime soon.
I've moved apartments several times. That's different. You know what you're getting into. The landlord's not going to change what apartment you move into when you get there with your truck full of stuff. He's not going to tell you you can't have something that you brought. You know?
He's not going to be like, I'm sorry, we have to move you to a different apartment. But you can't have the refrigerator, and your couches won't fit, and your bed's too big.
I mean, and by the way, here's an extension cord from the downstairs apartment to use. Plug everything into it. It's just infuriating.
See, now, I don't have that problem at work, but we do have, there's a refrigerator you can only use if you pay the $5.
Okay.
Because 10 years ago, there was a problem with the refrigerator. They had to pay to fix it.
Uh-huh.
So now there's a $5 fee to use the refrigerator.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It wouldn't be so bad if there was more than... Because that refrigerator was just for us.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why it was just for us is because if you don't have your own little fridge, you're using the break room refrigerator, which is the size of a normal house refrigerator, but shared with 300 people.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. You know, you can't share that with people.
We had the office that I started in, we had a break room like that. And you couldn't. Now there was one refrigerator per, I'm going to say 50 people, which is manageable because most people weren't using it anyway. Maybe even 100 people. And out of that, at most you had like 20 people putting stuff in there. But we also had the coffee club.
Yeah.
Like if you took a cup of coffee, you had to, you threw 50 cents or threw a quarter in.
Right. Yeah.
We had the one dickhead who wasn't part of the coffee club, but he would come and use milk every morning for his cereal, and he wouldn't put any money in. Well, dude.
Yeah.
That's funded out of the coffee club money.
That's probably more expensive than coffee. If you're using enough milk for cereal.
Yeah, see, the coffee club at our work, it's $5 a month, I think, but it doesn't include creamer or sugar. You have to bring that on your own because of abuses like that. But it's all the coffee you can drink, and the problem they have is they usually run free coffee Fridays, where even if you're not in the club, you can get free coffee, but, people abuse that.
If we still had a free coffee thing like that for $5 a month, I'd be like the dude in the article at the buffet. Because I guarantee you that I drink $5 worth of coffee a week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a horrible deal for them because they buy in bulk. They have a ton of people involved with it, so it's not a big deal. I can see, and the only thing I use the coffee pot for is it's got one of the hot water taps.
Right.
And so if I'm doing hot chocolate or oatmeal or something like that, I'll use that. And I don't feel bad about using that because it's hot water.
Yeah. Now, I actually have a Japanese hot water pot that holds the water at boiling temperature for my hot tea.
Yeah. So,
but we actually have a bottled water club, water cooler, and I used to pay into that, but for some reason, the person who's now in charge of the water cooler club has stopped sending out bills to everybody.
Oh, that's not good.
We haven't paid in a year. Apparently, either he's decided to pay for it, or somebody else has decided to pay for it. but and they took the sign down that says who was on the club to be able to drink water. So everybody can just drink water now. And so we're like, we're not really sure what's going on, but we're not going to ask.
Yeah.
So he's actually just refilling the jugs from the tap and not telling you.
Could be.
No, they're very sealed, and there's a reason that we drink from that. Where I work is actually really close to the water treatment plant, and so the water it tastes very treated.
Tastes very treated. That
we
could be worse.
They
Could be
stopped-
coming out of the Flint water plant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when they stopped doing free coffee at work, they continued the bottled water because our office was actually built on an old IBM site where they used to dump ink.
Mm.
And I guess people complained enough. Like there were sprinklers that ran in the back, I guess to like dilute the chemicals in the groundwater. They ran 24/7, 365.
Jeez.
Even in the middle of winter, big ice mounds forming above these sprinklers, they're still running. So I guess they realized, okay, we're going to keep paying for water just to be safe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. All right, folks. With that said, you've been listening to PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. Again, we want to encourage you. Call our 877 number. That's 877-787-8822. Leave a message for us. Let us know what you thought of the show. And always check out our website, ptrradio.com. It's got links to all the information that we talked about, as well as Facebook, Twitter feeds for all the hosts. Much, much more information out there. Subscribe to the podcast, all that fun stuff. Also, don't forget, if you're subscribed to us on Stitcher or iTunes, we could use a review. All right? Let us know how we're doing on there and help bump us up in the ratings, because the more reviews, the higher up we go.
Yeah.
That's what we want. We want your feedback. Really, we do need it to help us grow this show. With that said, we're going to be back on the 14th. That's right. We'll be back March 14th for our next show. Thanks to this extra, quote unquote, extra day. So March 14th, mark your calendars. We'll be here. With that said, this is PTR Radio. I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I'm Mike the 8 Man.
All right, folks, stick a fork in us because we are done. Later.